if you can just introduce yourself and uh, whatever you're entrepreneuring in.
So my name is Farzan Ahmadi. I'm entrepreneuring actually in a couple stuff. Started my first food truck business at the age of 18 years old. I owned a restaurant. From there, I ventured out into real estate, vending machines, ATM businesses, Amazon online platforms, shops, everything like that.
Cool. So, obviously, if you didn't know, we're all in an entrepreneurship class, and we were just chosen to interview an entrepreneur. So, we just have a set of questions that we're going to ask you. The first one that I'm going to ask is how have consumer preferences in the food truck industry specifically changed over the past few years? And how have you adapted?
So over the past few years, the only things that really have changed in consumer aspects, it's probably people losing jobs, economy tanking, and stuff like that. So the only way it affects us primarily is not enough money coming in. That's when we focus more on like larger companies such as corporates, uh, government contracts, stuff like that. But we try to adapt with it. We either increase and decrease our prices. We try to go with the flow of the market.
Okay. Adding on to that, what are like some challenges or barriers that you have faced in regards to your rental properties?
Honestly, with the rental properties, everything is straightforward with that aspect. To where the way I do it, it's through the government programs. Pretty sure you're familiar with is like Section 8. The beauty of that is honestly, there's no problems with it. When you're dealing with the government always pays on time, gives you no issues or anything of that nature. So once you set it up properly, everything is smooth sailing from there.
I guess one more question from me. What inspired you to start the Gyro Truck, and what was the whole process with like refining the idea?
Honestly, what kind of helped me lean into the gyro truck business is just being in the kitchen with my mom. I found a little, I guess, healing in cooking. It gave me satisfaction when people would try my food, eat my food, and they would be all happy, like, "Oh my God, this is so good." So just the satisfaction of like people enjoying what I make them. After that, I realized, you know what, there's money to be made in this. So I started venturing small little bits and pieces. Like I'll do little family party catering stuff like that, to where I was like, you know what, let's go full scope.
I think they got a couple questions for you too.
What's up? I'm DJ. Nice to meet you, bro.
Little DJ.
I had a couple questions about the market. How did you decide on your target market with your food truck, and like what kind of customers mostly do you guys serve?
So target market, honestly. So what I sell is gyros, which is cuisine from Greece. What I did was I added like a Middle Eastern flow to it. So there's not necessarily a market to where I'm specifically targeting. It's more of trying to find areas with high foot traffic and stuff like that, to where I set up and having people come like that. So honestly, just people of the working class, people that go on lunch, stuff like that. That'd probably be my target audience. But specifically like a single target, there's none.
Okay, okay. What market strategies have worked best for promoting your food truck business?
Marketing strategies, that would be social media. Instagram, TikTok, word of mouth. Honestly, that's where it is. Uh, Back in the day, it was a lot harder for people to, I guess, move forward with the food truck business because they were considered like roach coaches, like dirty food.
Yeah.
But nowadays, with social media, especially TikTok, Instagram, it's way easier to market out there. People see something they like they say, before you eat with your mouth, you eat with your eyes. So when something visually appeases somebody, they're like, you know what, I want to try that.
Okay. My last question I have for you was how do you attract like tenants for your rental properties, or are these specific groups you target?
So for that, the easiest thing I do is I'll go through a property agency to where they'll have like people in a queue basically. There'll be a wait list within the county to where they're looking for homes.
Okay.
So it's easy. All you got to do is look for the specific county that you're buying in. You call them up and you see what the wait list is looking like, how many people are on the wait list, and then they'll just start sending you lists of how to find people and where to get them.
Thank you, thank you.
What's up? How's it going, man? It's Jalen.
What's up, Jalen? How are you, brother?
Good guy, how about yourself, man?
Good, good.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So I got a question here for you. What do you consider your biggest competitive advantage in both the food and real estate sectors?
So in the food, my biggest advantage would be the freshness of my product. That's like the main thing I want to say is we make everything per order for the customer. There's nothing that's frozen. There's nothing that's sitting in the fridge. Everything is made fresh per order. So I feel like that gives me a competitive edge to my customer competition because when you taste fresh quality stuff, you can tell the difference between frozen stuff. And retail wise, I feel like I mean not retail, real estate wise, probably just the fact that I could market it better. Uh, Competitive pricing. I'll lower the rents compared to homes in the area. That way people gravitate toward that house compared to the ones next to me.
Smart, smart. And then I got one more question for you, man. It'll be do you have a team helping you with either the food truck or the rental business? If so, how did you choose them?
So for the food truck, it's honestly family business. So I have my little brothers with me, my mom and pops, and honestly, they're the biggest help that I could do. Uh, Pretty easy the way I found them. I live with them. I saw their work ethic, stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, you guys would do great with me. And the real estate aspect, I found like property agency companies. What they do is they specialize in like managing properties for you. That way you don't deal with like the headaches of necessarily like, oh, my roof is leaking, oh, my water heater broke, stuff like that. So what I like to do is I'll find a property management company, ask them a set of questions, see their reviews, see if people have been with them, and then I'll just choose them from there.
Awesome, awesome. I love the family business. That's sick, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep it in the family.
Yep, yep.
Hey, my name is Alex.
What's up, Alex? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
That's good. I got a couple questions. What's one of the biggest challenges you're currently facing with your food truck business, or has there been anything you had to adjust to as of recently?
So recently, the biggest challenges will probably be the cost of products, especially now in the times we're in, where their economy is going downward rather than upward, and all the new tariffs that are being into place. A lot of our products get like we get them from the stores, obviously, but they get them from international places. So as they get charged more, they charge us smaller businesses a lot more. So the biggest challenge right now would be just sourcing products, finding products low cost, trying to keep our costs low, and stuff of that nature.
Okay, okay. Have you experienced any legal or regulatory issues with your rental properties at all?
Not at all. So the beauty of it is, since it is like government financed properties, like Section 8 stuff like that, the beauty, nobody really wants to give you any problems because if they do give you problems, you just kick them off the program and they lose basically their housing. And I don't think anybody wants to deal with that. The only one problem I faced legal wise through my food truck is the brand. We go by Supreme Euros. There was a time where Supreme tried sending us a cease and desist letter saying we're using their logo, but luckily that all got situated, saying I own the trademark for Supreme Euros. It's completely different. But other than that, nothing else.
Okay, okay. And my final question, I feel like you already answered it, but how do you keep up with the changing regulations or economic trends in both industries?
Honestly, just basically trying to do as much as you could because with the flow of the world that we're in right now, like people are losing jobs, harder to find jobs, stuff like that. So the best I try to do is like keep my costs low, keep people engaged, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I think that's all our questions. I mean, if you have any like last comments or I guess advice for us fellow entrepreneur students.
Honestly, you guys have chosen the right path. A lot of people would say entrepreneurialism is easy, but the thing is you have to hustle. So the more you work hard, the more you'll see results coming in. Uh, as many good days as there are, there will be twice as many bad days. Don't let them get to you. Take every lesson as a failure and adapt to it, change, and think of what you could do to be better.
Cool. Well, thank you, Farzan. Appreciate it.